What is self-love and why is it so critical? What is self-love? There are lots of talks in recent times approximately self-love. It sounds remarkable, however, what does it mean? How do we love ourselves and why does it count? The self-love method, which you accept yourself completely, treat yourself with kindness and recognize and nurture your growth and well-being. Self-love encompasses no longer only how you deal with yourself but additionally your thoughts and feelings approximately yourself. So, while you conceptualize self-love, you may attempt to imagine what you will do for yourself, the way you'd speak to yourself, and how you'd feel approximately yourself displays love and problem. While you love yourself, you have got a general superb view of yourself. This doesn't mean you sense effective approximately yourself all of the time. That might be unrealistic. For example, I will quickly sense dissatisfaction, irritation, or disappointment with myself and nevertheless love myself. If that is puzzling, consider how this works in different relationships. That might be unrealistic. For example, I will quickly sense dissatisfaction, irritation, or disappointment with myself and nevertheless love myself. If that is puzzling, consider how this works in different relationships. I'm able to love my son even though orally experience irritation or disappointment with him. Even amid my anger and sadness, my love for him informs how I relate to him. It permits me to forgive him, bear in mind his emotions, meet his wishes, and make decisions to help his nicely being. Self-love may be very a lot identical. This indicates that in case you realize how to love others, you know how to love yourself. What does self-love look like? The following are examples of what self-love can appear like in motion. Announcing tremendous things to yourself, forgiving yourself when you reduce to rubble, meeting your very own needs, being assertive, now not letting others take advantage, prioritizing your health and well-being, spending time around folks who guide you and construct you up, and averting folks who don't, inquiring for assist, letting cross of grudges or anger that holds you returned, spotting your strengths, valuing your emotions, making wholesome picks most of the time, dwelling according to your values, pursuing your hobbies and goals, hard yourself, maintaining yourself responsible, giving yourself healthful treats, accepting your imperfections, setting practical expectations, noticing your development and effort. Why can we want to like ourselves? If you grew up with no fashions for self-love or each person who talked to you approximately the significance of being precise to yourself, you may question its cost. Properly, without self-love, you're probable to be surprisingly self-crucial and fall into people-pleasing and perfectionism. You're more likely to tolerate abuse or mistreatment from others. You may question its cost. Properly, without self-love, you're probable to be surprisingly self-crucial and fall into people-pleasing and perfectionism. You're more likely to tolerate abuse or mistreatment from others. You can forget your own needs and emotions due to the fact you don't price yourself. And you could self-sabotage or make selections that aren't in your very own exceptional interest. Self-love is the muse that permits us to be assertive, set limitations, create healthful relationships with others, exercise self-care, pursue our pastimes and desires, and feel happy with who we are. Self-love versus narcissism. Further to thinking about whether or not self-love is surely important, another big barrier to self-love is the belief that it's narcissistic or egocentric. When psychologists and therapists inspire self-love, they aren't talking about setting yourself on a pedestal above all of ourselves. Narcissists trust they're higher than others and gain well-known or take duty for their errors and flaws. When psychologists and therapists inspire self-love, they aren't talking about setting yourself on a pedestal above all of ourselves. Narcissists trust they're higher than others and gain well-known or take duty for their errors and flaws. In addition, they search for extraneous quantities of outside validation and reputation. Narcissists also lack empathy for others. Self-love, alternatively, isn't approximately displaying how awesome you're. People who love themselves healthfully love themselves, they're incorrect and make mistakes, and they receive and care about themselves despite their imperfections. Self-love doesn't prevent you from caring about others. It manner you could deliver yourself the equal kindness which you give to others. Placing self-love into practice often, whilst things are tough to do, we avoid them. You may word which you have thoughts like these.
23. Your horoscope may be slightly different in Hindu astrology. Hindu astrology, also known as Vedic astrology, hails from India, and also consists of 12 signs. However, the dates break up differently than they do in Western astrology.
It's everyday to be ambivalent about self-love or making any exchange. However, loving yourself doesn't mean you need to change the whole thing about your life. Simply try and treat yourself a little better than you did the day before today. Interpretation. Let your feelings and thoughts surely skip by using as you breathe, relax your frame, and stare upon yourself and not using a goal apart from to be a gift with ourselves.